You are the force. You are one with source. You are one with everything, everyone, and every version of life in the multiverse. If you've been following my channel, I recently put out two videos, one called The Dimension Where There Are No Problems, and the other one called The Force Isn't With You, The Force Is You. In both of those videos, I tried to explain a concept, but today I'm going to do it using a diagram. I'm going to explain to you what your true nature is, what the only problem in life is, how to fix it, and then how to live a life that is perfectly aligned and perfectly happy. Okay, I'm gonna go a little quickly because I'm trying to keep the video short, but do let me know what you think about it. So first on my diagram is you. That's you, right? You can think of yourself as an individual speck of light coming in through the window. The speck of light is on the floor and you see it, it's a little round thing like that, and you go, a speck of light, right? Now that speck of light is actually connected to a beam of light, a ray of light coming in through your window. It is not separate from the ray of light. The ray of light doesn't break off and make a speck. The speck is the manifestation of the ray of light. It is the physical form that the ray of light takes as it enters the world of physicality. The ray of light coming through your window is connected to a sunbeam. The sunbeam, the ray of light, and a speck of light are one thing. Now, the sunbeam is actually a piece of energy coming out of the sun. It hasn't actually left the sun. It has just gone in a direction. It has hit Earth, it has come through the window, it has hit the floor, and it has taken the shape of the speck of light. But the speck of light connected to the ray of light, connected to the beam of sunshine, connected to the sun in one unbroken chain is one thing. So the speck of light is the sun. In the same way, you are connected, let's call it the great sun, to source. You are connected to source. Source came out and formed you, but source did not break off and throw you and say, you are over there and I am a separate thing called source. You are an aspect of source. You are what source looks like when it comes through the veil around this planet. When it hits the world of physicality, you look like source in the physical world. You're one with source. So you can grasp this concept. Now, here's the really fantastic thing. Your friend is also source. Your parent, source. Your neighbor, source. Your boss, source. I don't think you would be watching this video or using the search terms that you used to find this video if you were uncomfortable with this notion, right? There are no separations. If God is everywhere, God is omnipresent, then God is present as God, but as you and your neighbor and your friend and your boss and your parents. God is everywhere because there is no non-God. You can't say, well, God is omnipresent, God is here, and God is here, and God is here, and God is here, and God is here. But nope, that's not God. Nope, God stops there. And this is a separate thing. No, God, the whole thing, everything in your frame is God in a form, doing something in a play. In yogic culture, you'll refer to it as the Leela, the great play. The energy of life, the consciousness of life, the one divine consciousness in yogic culture would be called Shiva, and it would come into the form of energy, Shakti, and Shakti would become the human individual. So together, the consciousness, which is still and unmoving, comes into a dance, the great dance of life, that is us. Okay. I don't want to stray too far from the point. I really just want you guys to get this concept, right? So the other thing about this is not a flat two-dimensional plane. This is a three-dimensional orb, right? So I am not an artist here. Bear with me. This doesn't just come out in a circle like some sort of Ferris wheel or bicycle wheel. It comes out in a 3-dimensional thing. So there's stuff going this way and stuff going that way, and it goes in every plane. It goes in alternate universes. It goes in parallel timelines. It goes in the past. It goes in the future. It goes everywhere. That's not all your business in this moment in time, because in this moment in time, you are this. And your physical body, your physical world, your quest for food and shelter, for love and affection, for taking care of your family, that is your business. But the rest of it is still connected to Source. Source is still a part of your being, an aspect of your consciousness, a part of yourself that you will remember at a certain point in time. Now, there are those that will say, okay, that's only meant to be remembered when you're dead. And generally speaking, you don't really need to remember all the universes and all the beings in this lifetime. It's not really something that's useful to you now. And then there are those who say, well, it's meant for some people to remember it all in this lifetime, or you can do things to remember it. Fine. But what you need is not all that complicated stuff. But you do need to remember that you are not an individual completely disconnected from the whole. And everything in the whole is not against you. So to use a completely different metaphor, let's use the metaphor of the ocean. You think of yourself as a drop of water and you are freaking out. You think you're going to evaporate. You think you're lost. You think you're splashing around and you don't know where you're going. And you look around and you see other drops of water and you have a problem with that drop of water. That drop of water is in opposition to you. You need to shift your consciousness, your awareness, your perception to realize that the drop of water that you identify as, is part of a wave. And the drop of water next to you, your friend, your neighbor, your boss, your enemy, is also part of that wave. The wave is a motion within a grander thing called the ocean. And you do not exist separate from that ocean. The movement of the wave is not incorrect. The movement of the wave is not flawed, and it does not need to be fixed. The only thing you need to recognize is that you are the wave. In fact, you are the ocean. And the ocean is always okay. And the ocean never does anything to spite the ocean. So when you look at that other drop of water, let's say a coworker, a colleague that you don't get along with, if you have a major problem with that colleague, if you think that I am right and you are wrong, then what you're doing is you're cutting a wave in half and saying that half of the wave is right and half of the wave is wrong. The only thing you have to do really is to figure out that the wave is one thing, one movement that is divinely orchestrated. Okay. So another thing I want to tell you based on this diagram is that there are essentially two, we could say three, but for today's video, let's say two ways of existing, right? I'm just going to draw a line down here. This here is me. This is the individual. And this here is Source, the divine, God, whatever you want to call it, right? And you can exist, your perception, your awareness, the way in which you interact with life can exist either here or here. Here or here. You can't look to the left and look to the right at the same time. You can only look in one place. You can only look from one place. So when you are here as me, you are an individual. Me. I exist. You exist. We are separate. The individual has senses. The individual has perception of, taste, smell, touch, hearing. The individual has needs. My house, my food, my bank account, my family, my relationship, my kids, my car, my career. The individual has ambition. I'm going to save. I'm going to protect. Those kind of things. Now, there's nothing wrong with that. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with that. I'm just saying that when life gets chaotic, when one drop of water starts to fight with another drop of water, when one leaf on a tree perceives another leaf on the same tree as being a challenge, that's when you know that your awareness has gone too deep and too far into the individuality awareness. And what you have to do is you have to shift your consciousness back to this being. Remember, you don't have to travel. It's not something you have to attain. It is just an awareness, right? You know, sometimes you're at work and you say, I am a teacher. But you are also, I am a daughter. I am a sister. I am a wife. I am a mother. I am a. So you can remember certain aspects of your being in certain times. Not that you ever truly forget, like I'm at work, I forget that I'm a mother. No, there's just times when you focus in one way and times when you focus in another way, and you act based on your focus, right? So in the same way, you tend to go through your life as an individual. I'm a human being. I am a separate entity for everything and everyone and everywhere and every action. I am separate from it, and it is happening to me, and I don't know what to do about it, and I'm in conflict with it. But if you can shift back to its source consciousness, you recognize that I am. Source consciousness is where I am is. And I am this, I am that also, I am that also. Your mind in the physical form is not capable of fully grasping this. You're not going to realize, I am my neighbor. Yes, I am. I'm in her house next door and I'm cooking right now. Yes, I am my neighbor. You're never going to fully grasp all the things that you are. But you're going to be the source that influences everything. Okay? And what is that source? So we know that the little individual is the five senses. It is the needs. It is the body. It is the separation. It is the identity. It is all the adjectives and accomplishments and diplomas that you would use to describe yourself. That is the little me. Fine. But when you take a few minutes a day to meditate and feel the consciousness of source, or when you pray and you pray to this consciousness of source, what is that energy like? What does it feel like there? Well, this being, when you remember that you are this being, when you hold the consciousness of this being does not see this as separate from this. You do not see your left hand as separate from your right hand. You do not see your left hand and right hand in conflict with each other. If your left hand and right hand are hitting each other, you don't say, why is the left hand hitting the right hand? You're saying, oh, clapping is occurring. You see the whole motion, and you see both. I am this, I am that. You see all of the limbs. I am my left leg, I am my right leg, I am my ears, I am my eyes, I am every follicle of hair, I am all of it. So you make peace with what is happening, and you accept that everything is happening through you, not to you. You are not the victim of what is happening. You are not in opposition to what's happening. What's happening is not attacking you. What's happening is happening through you, for you, as you. And life changes at that point. That's when you realize there's meaning to everything. And I am connected to everything, and not just that, but I influence everything. This is why when you go through the spiritual awakening process, you recognize synchronicities. It's not that source is sending you a message, it's that your consciousness is shifting into source. When you see, well, my favorite number is 33. I see 133, 233, 433 on the clock. That doesn't mean that a separate being is sending me a message of 33. It just means that my consciousness is shifting into that, the one who creates everything. And I make myself observe those numbers to remind me that I am placing everything in the world. I am placing the thing in the world, and then I am placing the being who observes the thing in the world. Okay, that might be a little bit too complicated, but let me get to the essential point. The final piece of it. Not only does source consciousness recognize it all as I am this, I am that also, I am that also, I am that also, but source consciousness It doesn't see anything as an opposition to it. And the other thing that defines this consciousness versus this consciousness is that there is unity. And here you have the mind, you have thinking, you have strategizing. Here you have heart, not the organ, heart. Heart as in the energy, the dimension, the plane. And here you have love. Love, 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 love. God is love. So if you want to know God, you have to be love. You have to experience love. You have to exist as love. I forget exactly what. He who has not loved has. He who does not love does not know God, for God is love. That's in the Bible. So you cannot say that you know Source or you understand Source if you do not understand love. You cannot shift your consciousness to love if you have not shifted your interaction on this earth to one of love. You cannot pray a prayer. This is one of the most powerful lessons I ever learned. True Source of Miracles. You cannot pray an effective prayer until you love the thing that you are praying for. Even someone who's hurting you, even a situation that is unfair. As long as you see the situation as separate from you and bad and evil, you will never be able to truly affect it, because you must touch God. You must touch the hem of his garment. You must touch that being. And that being is love. And that being loves all aspects of its being. If my right hand came and whispered something in my ear, and my left hand came and whispered something in my ear, and they thought they were praying to me, I would laugh at both of them. They have to understand that I am it all. And this hand has to love this hand in order to pray to the being that governs all the hands. Okay. Focus. I could break down each of these sentences into a separate video, but let's just stick to the love thing. So if Source is love, then you are love. And who's this? This is your neighbor? Your neighbor is love. Your mother is love. Your friend is love. Your boss is love. Your kid is love. Everything is love. Right? So you are love. Not that you are loving, not that you are loved, but you are love. The only way to think of it is that love is an energy. It is a form or a substance. It's a way of existing. Think of it as light. A lot of people can grasp the concept, I'm made of light or I'm made of energy. Well, what if that energy and that light is actually the force known as love? So what that implies is that love created the world. Love governs the world. Love changes things. Love takes us to different dimensions, different parallel universes, different options of life, different miracles. Love is what we pray to, and love is how we pray, what we pray as. So I hope that's making sense. How does this apply in your everyday life? I was part of a program recently. It was a course that I had to go to. And I went to the course and I sat there. And immediately I was like, this is so boring. Why is this starting late? It's not on time. That guy doesn't know what he's talking about. I don't agree with what he's saying. I know more than he knows. And all of those thoughts started occurring to me. And I realized immediately I am experiencing this course as a separate entity. I am experiencing this course as me, as the mind, as the pains that I have, as the traumas that I have, as the anxieties that I have, and as the illusion of control. And I shifted my consciousness and I said, no, this is happening through me and for me. He is I. As the Rastas say, I and I. There cannot be dispute where there is I and I. I have created the teacher, I have created the student, and I have created the learning process. There cannot be anything wrong in this situation, and this situation must be for me and must be for my benefit. And the minute I shifted that concept, the course became the most beautiful experience. The presenter became the most beautiful friend. And I sat there as love, loving the people who were participating with me, loving the person who was delivering, loving the fact that I was there receiving, loving the universe for allowing this to happen, loving all the potential future opportunities that were implied by the fact that this was occurring today. So my experience of life shifted because I shifted the place from which I was experiencing life. Okay, so I know this was a weird one, and I know it was long, and I know it was complicated, but let me know what you think of it. Your question might be, what is she talking about? What is her point? Why is this useful? Look at the name of the channel. I named the channel A Friend on the Inside because I want to share with you the most powerful thing that I have ever learned that changed my life. That I am a triune being. I am a human being and I am connected to my higher self. My higher self guides me and is full of utmost wisdom and is right there inside of me all the time and can help me through any situation. And my higher self and I are experiencing this world for a temporary while as separate individuals to learn things. But my higher self and I are actually connected to everything. We are not separate from anything. And understanding that 3 levels of existence helps me to understand my purpose, helps me to accept, to forgive, to feel love, to release, to surrender, to remove the stresses from my life, and helps me to realize the fantastic divine beauty of this great dance, this great play that we are all in. And life itself, the living of life has completely changed when I understood this. So all I'm ever going to do in my videos is teach you about those 3 layers of existence. I'm going to teach you what's wrong with the mind and why it is causing you to have a stressful and difficult life, how to address that. I'm going to teach you the beautiful relationship you can have with your higher self, how to contact your higher self, and how to live in continuous communication with your higher self. There's this young teenage boy who's working with me at another job, and he has his girlfriend on the phone all the time. And he talks to her 8 hours a day. Like, I'm not saying that's healthy, but that is what it should be like with your higher self. And then the third thing that I want to teach you is the unity that we all are, the source that has us all, that holds us all, and that moves through us. And the fact that at the end of the day, I am in you and you are in me, and we are in each other. And there's something really beautiful about that. So again, I hope you enjoyed this video. Do let me know what you think of it. And I will see you again soon.